somewhere. I think it's, yeah, I can see him now. Please welcome to Dave, Kate
Thank you, Jamie. Okay, we do not have a lot of time, we've got a lot to get through, so we'll start with the register. Put your hands up if you are on it. It's hard to tell. Do we have any hands? I got 6 in Ipswich last week like that. That was just a little joke about me looking at you and thinking you look like criminals, because I know that you are looking at me and thinking the same thing. It's right, the guy with the tattooed face is aware he has a vibe. You can say it. Crime watch. I look like I've been nicked more often than a clipper lighter is what I'm getting at. Right, but don't judge. I'm a good friend to have. Right? You put a copper in front of me, I'm on stage. You put a copper in front of a lot of you guys and you go to pieces, you start confessing to shit you haven't even done. Anxiety gets the better of you. So, is there anything in your pockets that shouldn't be there? Yeah, your friend's hand at the moment. You want to address that? Is there anything in your pockets that will hurt me? Yeah, 3 ninjas and a tiger. Dig in, sunshine. You may harm your defence if you fail to mention now something you may later rely on in court. Prince Andrew's legal team. I actually went to the same school as Andrew and Edward after I got expelled from my first school. I didn't go to that class, my family couldn't afford that class. But I actually went there, so I've got a bit, I actually do have a bit of class for a hooligan. Because there's a reason I look like I've got a criminal background. I've got one. But I'm more estate than estate. Boarding school didn't change, mate. You may be wondering why the suit. My dad recently got married. It's a gift. Sweet. Now, I've got a suit. One of my friends recently asked me to be his best man, but the trouble is, we regularly terrify his children with the thought that I might be a sexual predator. And I regularly prank my friend. And he told me today on the way to work, he says, oh, I've got you a watch for being best man. It's just being engraved. With what? Guarantee it's going to be saying like, leave the kids alone. Imagine if I lose that fucking watch. Yeah, I lost my watch here yesterday. Has anything been handed in? Well, yeah, we had a couple of watches handed in, sir. Can you describe yours? Yeah, it's got a bit of a scratch on the second link up from the clasp. And on the back it accuses me of being a paedophile. I'm never asking for that watch back. It was a Rolex anyway. I come from a long line of jokers. My granddad once famously faked his own death just to pull off the world's most badass knock-knock joke. Sitting there in the funeral. Who's there? Grandad! 3 of the aunties fainted. And the bastard got us again 4 years later at the real deal. The curtains opened, the box went in, and we all sat there for another hour and 3/4 waiting for him to either announce he was the vicar or walk through the back door. I'm a bit of a practical joker myself. I've got one I like to call ejector seat. And what I like to do is I play on the way I look a little bit. I've got a big estate car, you see, I've got a big Volvo, and I fill my back seat with rucksacks and backpacks. I go looking for hitchhikers. And when I get one, I start saying really fucked up shit to them. Jump in, throw your bag in the back. With the others. So Kevin, do you mind if I call you number 7? And every sort of 10 miles or so, I'll slow down to about 10 or 15 miles an hour just to see if I've done enough to make them take the leap of faith. Well, I got a cocky one in one night, and he turned around at me and said, how do you know I'm not a serial killer? I thought, oh, a challenge. I've got your measure, sunshine. And I just started laughing. I said, how funny would that be? You pull your knife as I pull my shooter. He didn't wait for me to slow down. Fuck you. Oh, dear. I spend a lot of time on the internet. And you probably really shouldn't when you've got my kind of brain. One of the things that I've recently found are those life hacks. You've got to watch out for some of them are traps. That phone life hack, you know one where you've got your phone wet and you put it in the rice and everything's all cool? Bullshit. I did that. I got my phone wet, put it in the rice, left it there for about 24 hours, pulled it out, ran it under the tap to drain the starch out. Just as fucked as it was when it went in there. Bullshit. I like when they ask your opinions as well. There was one on there that said, which celebrity would you most like to contact via a Ouija board? And I couldn't make my mind up between the other Katie Price or Piers fucking Morgan. Another one asked me if I could remove one thing from the world, what would it be? The letter D. Because then we'd all sound Cornish, and that would be great. Dictators would lose their power overnight. I'm bent on world domination. Fuck off. Oh dear. And everyone asked me what would I rather be, a vampire or a werewolf? Let's have hands up for vampire. We've got one vampire in the back. That's how you identify them, you ask them. Hands up for werewolf. Why? When have you ever watched a dog sliding across your carpet on its balloon knot and thought, that little fucker is living his best life and I'm jealous? Licking his bollocks right in front of the mother-in-law. I wish I could fucking do that. No. And also, think about it, right? The metamorphosis into a werewolf. Your body's going through changes you've no control over. You're starting to grow hair in awful places and your moods are all in the shitter. It's puberty, people. It's puberty every 28 days. Now, I don't know about you, but I didn't fucking enjoy it the first time round. That was bullshit. My voice took 3 years to break. And I'm ginger. Right? Vampire. Can't go out in the sun, got superpowers, chicks love him. Right? Now, the only one of those I share is can't go out in the fucking sun. Right, do you know where that comes from? I'm Scots, right? I've got Norwegian ancestors. How does someone that comes from a country that's got 24 hours of sunlight for 6 bloody months of the year bestow upon me the genetic gift if I can't even stand in front of the fucking microwave when it's going? That's bullshit. I think about words. Unicorn. What a strange name for something so beautiful. Singular foot complaint. That's what unicorn means. One corn. Not very nice, is it? But then I realised that the only other alternatives are horsoceros or nardonkey. And it made sense. I went to see my nan the other day. She says, your granddad's getting under my feet lately. I said, have you considered using the fucking jar they gave you? Oh dear. My parents found me as a baby and they used to tell that story to every girlfriend I brought home because it sounds so much nicer than we lost him for 3 days in Milton Keynes Shopping Centre because we were day drinking. Started a child-minded business during the lockdown. It was going really well until I tased that 13-year-old for trying to take my clients' dinner money. I get drunk sometimes, and I go on the internet, and you really shouldn't. It ends in things like, I'm looking for a baby door bouncer on a local for sale site, and ends with me replying, have you tried to stop your toddler? And that's the best of it. That's the best of it. That's the mildest end. The more severe end is I start to have ideas and want to prove whether they're true or not. Has everyone heard of Moonpig cards? I got drunk one night and I wanted to see if there's anything Moonpig won't print on a card. Turns out there isn't. And I got some sent through. Would you like to hear it? Oh, God. Thank you. But we'll start off mild. Thanks for helping me fake my death and letting me hide out. Always thought having an undertaker as a mate was weird until now. Couldn't have done it without you, big fella. Cannot fucking wait for the funeral next week to see how long it takes those pricks to realise I'm the vicar. Love, Grandad. Mummy. I love you to the moon and back. And yes, that is me, and that is my mummy. And what is on the back of this card is very disrespectful, and she fucking loved it. Bless her. Mum, I'm sorry I waited until your divorce was final to tell you those escort charges on Dad's card were mine. But I've always wanted to live with Nan, and anyway, Dad's such a wanker. Please let Nan answer my calls. I miss both you guys, and Dad's been such a bellend about the whole thing. Love you. Kiss, kiss, kiss. I'll leave you with this last one, because I thought my second beer's kicking in. Doesn't take much. Let's ramp it up a little bit. Have we got any animal lovers in the house tonight? You are going to fucking hate this. Oh, look, there's a little French bulldog there. How cute is that? Oh, sorry. It sets the tone for what's about to happen. Dear Mr. Jenkins, sorry to bother you at what must be a very difficult time for you and your family. Words cannot fully express the immense amount of remorse I feel for eating your poodle dog, Benji, and frightening your wife and small children. I can offer no explanation for my shocking conduct that day, other than to say that crystal meth is a very powerful drug. I'm now getting the help I need, and I'm trying to accept responsibility for any harm my addiction has caused. So I hope it will help you to know that I thought Benji was lovely. Thank you very much, you've been brilliant.
Thank you.